Hey, well, welcome to the channel. This is our very first video for our Slam family, and I kind of want to just show you guys or tell you guys why we started this channel. And the reason why we started this channel is because one, COVID-19, stupid. I hate the coronavirus, but we're making this video so we can reach beyond our walls and reach beyond the students in our youth group. We want you guys to share these videos, show them to your friends, show them to your family. These are going to be for anyone that comes across them. But we really just want to reach more than just the people that we have in our Slam youth. Now, I want you guys to go ahead and comment real quick. What has gotten you through quarantine? What has gotten you through quarantine? For me, one, my wife. I have a wife, so it's got me through quarantine. I have someone to talk to, spend time with. Two, Jesus, another person I have to talk to and spend time with. And three, my PS4, so playing Call of Duty. Colin, don't give me that look. You get me through it too, but you just came in like 2 weeks ago. But Call of Duty, if you guys play Call of Duty, put your names down below. I will play with you. I don't play with Jeff because he's terrible. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love you, Jeff. But yeah, I play lots of Call of Duty, so that's definitely got me through. I'll play from like 10 o'clock at night to like 2 in the morning sometimes. 2 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. If you guys wonder who I'm talking to, Colin is down there, so I'm talking to Colin. But so go ahead and put that in the comments. But what I want to talk about today is obviously we have a lot going on right now with this idea of racism and riots and etc. And it's something that we can't avoid talking about anymore. It's something that is constantly popping up on our social medias. It's something that's constantly coming up in conversation, and it just seems to not be getting away. And I know that it's really hard for a lot of people because it's hard to speak up on this type of thing. I don't know why, but this subject is very controversial when I don't believe it should be. The reason why I say that is because there shouldn't be any reason why we should be arguing about race. In honesty, um, we're all made in the image of God, and if everyone would catch that, then we wouldn't be in this situation right now. But obviously, there's a lot of people who don't have Jesus in their heart, and this is a very tough subject for them. Um, and guys, this is like it's a real struggle. Like this racism thing, this thing for the black community, it is a real struggle. They are going through things. I mean, it we could sit here and pretend like they haven't, but they have, and it shows that they have. And right now, I don't think it's wrong to stand with them, um, in like peaceful protests and things like that. Um, but one thing that's really hard is this whole justification for like riots and stuff like that. I know this is a very touchy subject. Okay, I know it's very touchy, and but peaceful protests, okay. Riots, no. Okay, violence is never the answer when it comes to this stuff, guys. It's a real struggle. I actually saw this post about some rioters and some looters, and there was this guy, believe it or not, broke into a store, and the only thing he took from there was some pork chops. Like out of the whole store, you go in there and you go to the meat section. All right, where's the pork chops? Oh yeah, I'm good. All right, bet. No, nobody goes in just to get some pork chops. Like, come on, that at that you're just trying to start trouble and you're just trying to be rebellious. It's like, don't buy the pork chops. Don't steal some pork chops. But I just thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, guys, it is hard to speak up, and it's also hard to stay silent. There's a lot of people who you say something and you said the wrong thing. And now you got people commenting or saying things to you like you shouldn't have said this. Oh, it's supposed to be this way. It's supposed to be this way. And then if you stay silent, they're saying, oh, well, if you stay silent, then you're condoning this action. You're condoning what they're going through right now. And it's okay to speak up. I want you to know that it's okay to speak up, but just be careful in the things that you say. Um, if you guys really feel like you need to have a voice or you want someone to talk to about the situation, you can go to our social media sites and you can DM us, and we will talk to you about this subject. We want to make sure that we're knowing what's going on in your guys' hearts and in your minds. And if there's something you just don't feel comfortable posting, but you want to express it to someone and you don't know who, contact us on our social media. If you don't know our social media, we should have some links in the description for you guys to go check out our Instagram and our Facebook page, and we'll have that for you. But what I really want to touch on is this whole idea of racism and these riots and stuff. The only reason why it's blown up so much is because this platform of social media. And because we have social media, it takes one video to blow up out of nowhere to start something like insane. And it took the video of what happened to George Floyd to start these protests and to start these things. And the only thing that's the downside about this social media right now is that with this whole idea of racism, with this whole COVID-19, it is bringing a lot of fear. It's bringing a lot of anxiety. It's bringing a lot of confusion. And it's making us lose our trust in Jesus. And the reason why I say that is because it's very easy to be heavily involved in these type of things. I had a conversation with Colin just a couple days ago in our car, and we were talking about how there's this heavy presence of fear on social media right now. It's like scrolling through, and there's just like this heaviness and not really light to it anymore, just because there's so much going on in the world. And it's easier right now to lose trust in God and give in to fear. And the reason why I say that is because I guarantee you most of the people watching this video spend a majority of their time on social media. Like if I could go back and look at how many hours you spend per day on social media, I bet you it'd be insane. Okay, because social media is where it's at right now with everything. And it's also very easy to get distracted during this time from your relationship with Jesus and pouring yourself or allowing Jesus to pour into you. And because social media is so easily distracting, we just get stuck in that. And it sucks because I know people who are stuck in that. They're stuck in the political sides in it. They're stuck in the post and the things going on, and it's hard to even have conversation with people anymore without bringing up this idea. And I'm not saying that this idea needs to be pushed off to the side. I'm just saying it's taking a lot of people's focus. And what I really want you to know right now is that you need to make sure you're keeping your focus in Jesus and not in the things that are going on. Don't disengage with them. Don't pretend like nothing's happening, but make sure that a majority of your focus is in your relationship with Jesus, because he is going to be the answer to everything. He is going to be the comfort to your fear and your anxiety. He is going to be those things for you. And one question I have for you that I really want you to think about, and we may even talk about this on our Zoom calls on Wednesday, is when it goes back to normal, will you stay distracted? When it goes back to normal, when we're able to go back and do things, and if this idea of racism dies down really quickly, are you going to stay distracted still? Or are you going to be able to focus on your relationship with Jesus? Will you forget about your relationship with Jesus? You know, in all reality, when things open up, I already know the first thing that I said I'm going to do when things reopen up is I'm going to the movies. All right, that's my favorite thing to do. So when they open that back up, I'm there. I'm going. But the question is am I going to stay distracted in those things and forget about my relationship with Jesus? And that's what I want you to think on. Guys, distraction is a really big deal right now. And I want to bring up this story of Jesus visiting Martha and Mary. So Jesus and his disciples were on their way to Jerusalem, and they came to a village where a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm just outside doing yard work and I'm mowing the lawn or I'm planting flowers or whatever, and Jesus walks by, you don't think I'm gonna invite that man into my house? Like for real, like Jesus walks by, be like, oh hey Jesus, and no, I'm gonna invite the man into the house, and that's exactly what she did. She said, Jesus, come on, hey, come in the crib real quick. We gonna whip you up something real quick. I got my grandma's old recipe back here. We gonna cook you up some stuff. So come in and sit down. So that's what Jesus did. He came inside. He came inside her house, and her sister Mary sat at the Lord's feet, listening to what he taught. Now, obviously, you would think, if Jesus entered to your home, the whole time your focus would be on him. Your focus wouldn't be on anything else. You'd be, all right, Jesus, yeah, come take a seat here. I'm gonna sit down right here, and then I want you to just, tell me about stuff. Like I'm just gonna listen to you. Okay, and that's exactly what Mary did. But listen to this. But Martha was distracted by the big dinner she was preparing. Now, obviously, when you have Jesus come into your house, you're going to make the best dinner ever. See, now when I think of best dinner ever, I'm thinking fried chicken, I'm thinking mashed potatoes, I'm thinking corn, greens, probably some stuffing, some gravy, and then obviously I'm gonna have some dessert. So let's see, what kind of dessert? Let's see, maybe some French silk pie. Like that's pretty fire, I think. Let's see, what else? What else we got? You gotta have appetizers for Jesus too. Mashed potatoes are the best side dish. I'm just gonna throw that in there right now, as long as they're cooked correctly. But again, Martha, distracted by all these things, she's cooking up stuff. She's setting the table. She has to put down silverware. She has to make sure the table looks nice. And mind you, this whole time Jesus is in there talking to Mary. Okay, Mary is probably getting some great wisdom out of Jesus right now, listening to all the stuff that he's been doing, and she's in here, putting plates down, putting the chairs there, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, hey Mary, what you want to drink? Jesus, I know you turn water to wine. Which one do you want? I can give you one, or you can turn the water. Yeah, or I can get you a Mountain Dew. Okay, all right, cool. So then she's getting the drinks and everything, right? But look, this whole time that she is preparing this dinner, she was distracted from everything but she was focused on everything but Jesus. She was distracted the entire time. And she came up to Jesus and said, Lord, doesn't it seem unfair to you that my sister just sits here while I do all the work? Tell her to come and help me. Basically, he's saying, tell her to be distracted with me. Tell her to not focus on you right now and to focus on these things. And the Lord said to her, my dear Martha, you are worried and upset over all these details. There is only one thing worth being concerned about. Mary has discovered it, and it will not be taken away from her. Guys, I do want you to go read this story for yourself. It's in Luke chapter 10. So go ahead and write that down and go look for it. But guys, she was so distracted, she didn't focus who was in the room. And that was Jesus. We as a world are so distracted. We lose focus on the answer who is in everything, and that is Jesus. Guys, don't forget what he has done for us. Don't forget the relationship that he wants to have with you. Guys, Jesus is always in the room. He is always invited into our house. And don't get distracted by the other things in our house when we have Jesus in our room. Jesus is in our room of chaos. Jesus is in our room of distraction. Jesus is in our room of depression. Jesus is in our room of addiction. Jesus is in our room of fear. Jesus is in our room of anxiety. And what you need to do is pay attention to the expert in the room. Guys, I want you guys to really focus during this time. Focus on what's important. Make sure that you're focusing on Jesus. He's going to help you with any problem that you may be going through during this time, any worry, concern, or fear that you're going through during this time. Jesus is the answer to that. I'm going to say it again. I want you to write it down because I want you to look at this. Pay attention to the expert in the room, and that is Jesus. Dear Jesus, we thank you for allowing us to have this set up, for allowing you to still be able to speak to these students, God. God, I thank you for Jeff being so willing to come here and set this up so that we're able to do this for the students, God. God, I thank you for having a great leadership team in Colin and JP and Lauren and Tia and Debbie and all the above, God. God, I thank you that we're able to find time to be focused on you and not distracted by the other things that are in the room. God, I pray that we come to you with our concerns. We come to you with our questions. And I pray that we listen and pay attention to the expert in the room. In Jesus' name, amen.